The pattern we see is like, in the men there is a specific pattern. These are the areas they will come up with the pain. In the men there is a different pattern. The type, even if it is a pain, let me say if the pain is of the knee pain in teachers responds differently than in a different profession. That's good. Thank you. So it is always like, we need to understand why do we have a difference and how do we attend to it. So as teachers specifically, and now the education system has changed so much, there's a lot, the time goes into documentation, a lot of the time goes into preparing for the subject, and it is a stressful job, am I right? It is stressful. It is stressful physically, it is stressful mentally, both the ways. Now, plus you have your own families to be taken care, the work, the family, everything. But then as we go in the profession, gradually everything becomes so easy, it's not that difficult to manage the two, except that the physical stress takes a toll. Now, what are the changes or what are the areas which normally come up with the pains? Anyone here who has been experiencing pains? We are first talking about the pains. Anyone here experiencing pains as such? Maybe sometimes a mild pain and you do some movements and you feel good, or there are pains which are there for a couple of days. Or there are people who have pains like, but then they're so used to it that they don't realize that it's hurting till it really pulls the person down. So mostly the pains are in the neck and the shoulder. In women, in the teaching profession, the pains are mostly seen in the neck and the shoulder. That's one, because there's a lot of usage of the hand. Gone are the days when we used to write on the blackboard, but still the right hand gets used up more. The neck pains earlier used to be because the head was up and you're writing on the board, but now the pains are mainly because of the technology. It's in front of the laptop and then just bending down and seeing, writing it down, doing the work on this thing. Now what happens? When you are with the system or the laptop or the PC, you start sitting straight, and as gradually it's like this. You want to get into the screen and see. People, those who are above 40 and those who are using bifocal lenses, for them the lower part is the reading one. So it is this, the posture where you look into the screen, and that puts a lot of strain onto the neck. The easiest way for those using bifocals and feeling pain in the neck, working with the system, the best thing is use a separate reading glass when you are working with the system. Instead of using your bifocal lenses, keep it aside. When you are working with the PC or the laptop, use the reading glasses so that you look straight, you don't look like this into the screen. That will eliminate your neck pain by almost 50%. Simplest thing, you don't have to go and do anything else. Now the second thing, when we are working, and while working, it is always, we keep saying sit straight, but then what do we mean by sit straight? It is just not possible for any person to just remain sitting erect, even if it is for half an hour. Yes? So, what is the best way in which passively your body can be put to a sitting position which is erect for the spine? So whenever you are sitting, the best way is to sit in such a way that your butt touches the backrest. Always sit getting your butt touching the backrest. Don't leave a gap there. So it's this, and then when you go down, it should just, now this chair height is more for me. So this is what is required. You need to go back. And once the buttocks, they touch the backrest, you have no scope to bend down this way. You can just come forward, you can do this, but then your lower back does not bend. That eliminates the strain which is going to come onto the neck because of the back getting slouched. Now imagine one thing, It's like, you have a screen where you're already this way looking into it, and then the lower, you bend down this way, so now the screen, now see how much of the strain is coming here? It's like almost this type of an angle. This is, now we understand one thing, whenever two surfaces rub against each other for a longer period of time, definitely the surfaces are going to become rough. The smoothness of the joint goes away, roughness comes in, and that is what technically we call as cervical spondylosis. So cervical spondylosis is only wear and tear of the joints in the neck region. That's all is spondylosis. And that comes when you put your joints in such a position where there is too much of compression happening between the two joint surfaces, and that gradually leads to wear and tear. It can happen as early as 22, 23 years of age also. And people, those who follow good practices, we have seen even at the age of 60, their spine is wonderful. So it all depends on how we manage. In spite of that, women are more prone to develop wear and tear as compared to the men. Dr. Ishani will be covering up why women are more vulnerable to such problems and why not men. So, but then we know, number one, it is our gender which is putting us at risk. Number two, the work stress. So any stress, these muscles go into tightness, and tightness of these muscles is definitely causing a compression in the joints to happen. So any stress, the first response is the neck muscles go into tightness. So we need to learn how to de-stress ourselves. De-stress doesn't mean that we just sit down and say, okay, I'm not going to remember anything. No, that's not de-stressing. De-stressing doesn't mean that you go to the bed, lie down and say, okay, I had a sleep and I'm stress free. Even that's not de-stressing. De-stressing has to be a conscious de-stressing where you sit down, you relax, and you should feel that your neck is relaxed. So you have to focus, you have to say, yes, my neck has to relax. I'm not going to, whether my mind has the thoughts or no thoughts, I don't care, but my neck is relaxed, and try to feel that your neck is getting relaxed. Once you achieve that relaxation in the neck, then you should get on to whatever the activity you are doing, consciously keeping the neck relaxed. So this technique is called mindfulness. You put your mind into whatever required, focus onto that, train your mind to achieve what you want, and then move forward. So relaxation can happen only when mindfulness is applied to it, otherwise it is just passively knocking down the muscle. So when you have severe pain, you take pain medicine. That medicine is a muscle relaxant, it relaxes the muscle passively. Again you are going to get it. The moment you get stressed out, you will again have it. How many times are you going to take those medicines? Why don't train our mind to learn how to de-stress? That's the best way to do. Now the neck, so sitting I have covered up saying that how to sit so that you remain erect. So every one of you who is sitting here, please push your butts back, go back into the chair comfortably. If your feet are not touching down for the time being, you can let the toes only touch there. But that's the right way. If you are in your personal chair, you should see to it that the chair height is appropriate, or you have a footstool down. Have a footstool. That brings me to another point, why we should have a footstool. Even if your legs are touching down, if you are sitting in your chair for the longer duration, people into administration, for them having a footstool or a footrest in front where the legs come up this way is very important to prevent varicose veins. When you are sitting straight with the feet hanging down, knees bent to 90 degrees, we normally do not have a habit of sitting with this legs out in this position. It's always this. The feet go back. Now there is an obstruction to the blood circulation happening at the back of the knee, continuous obstructions. There is a tendency for the blood to pool in the lower part of the legs and develop varicose veins. So these days, we find lot of people, because majority of the people working in the IT sector sit for long hours and keep the legs behind, and these people are developing all varicose veins as early as 30 years of age. So, and later on it's just stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 keeps happening. So what is the best way to do? Whenever you are sitting, instead of sitting this way, the legs being this way, opened up back of the knee is good enough to let a circulation happen, prevent varicosity. Next, we come down the shoulders. Now when you are sitting and when you are working, you should see to it that this part of the chest open up from here. It's like as if somebody has put a hook here and is pulling up. This is opening up. So don't sit this way, the shoulders getting down. This is the part. When we ask the people to sit erect, they do this. No, this is not erect. You need to pull up from here, straight up. So can I see everybody sitting erect? Even if you are taking a back rest, you can still pull up this portion and make yourself erect. Very good, very good. And advantages, number 1, your neck doesn't move forward. We want to avoid the forward neck. Number 2, shoulders don't get rounded up, because rounding up of the shoulder puts a strain to the tendons here, and then gradually you come up with pain in the shoulder initially, because your job involves a lot of movement of the hand. Then it is like corrections. There's so much correction, so your hand is a repetitive movement. Whenever, let me say, suppose you are given, at one time you are just asked to lift up, say, about 50 kilos. You can just lift up 50 kilos and keep, nothing will happen. But if I say that I'm giving you 150 answer sheets to be checked, and you need to check each answer sheet having almost around, say, 35 to 40 pages, you correct, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, you are going to get a pain here. You are not lifting anything. But it is a repetitive strain, a cumulative stress to the tissues. So these tissues are bound to be getting injured. First injury is inflammation. That means swelling around the tissue. You still continue. Work has to be done. I have no choice. I need to do it. When you continue doing it, there's a partial rupture of those tendons which happen. And that is where then you gradually land up with frozen shoulders. So frozen shoulder doesn't develop overnight. It takes its own sweet time of at least 1 year to develop a frozen shoulder. It will give you symptoms in the beginning. You need to act on it. Listen to your body. Your body will always give you signals that something is not happening right. Listen to it, react to it, or respond to it. Instead of reaction, respond to it. It will be comfortable. So now when you have the rounded shoulders, suppose you sit this way, or when you are tired and you still need to do the work, what you do is like, this is the posture. Now this thing is coming here, there's a tendon which comes from here. This tendon is now in the compressed position. There's a lot of pressure on this tendon. This tendon is going to be, first the circulation is not so good, next it goes into inflammation, and then the third it comes into rupture. So to avoid this, the shoulders have to be always rolled back, not pushed back. Pushing back is this, rolling up is this. So rolling up means this part of the chest is getting pulled up, shoulders going back. That's the reason I say you need to pull up from here. Don't make straight this way. Pull up your chest up as if you are lifting the breast up. That is what the movement is. So you prevent frozen shoulders if you are able to maintain the correct position, and it's not at all difficult. The only thing is consciously working on it for 7 days. Let the brain learn that this is the right position. Once the brain learns the right, it is not ready to accept the wrong one. It's not ready. The moment you'll go down, you'll feel something is not right, and immediately and subconscious mind will pull the body straight up again. So it happens. You need to work on it consciously 7 days. So now when you do this, you are preventing your frozen shoulder. So first we have prevented cervical spondylosis. Next we are preventing frozen shoulder, the two most common problems with the women, especially in the teaching profession. Now the third reason, the breast. If somebody has got a heavy breast, They are more likely to have a posture which is pulling forward. They should always have a support to the breast which keeps the breast lifted up. So in that case, people with heavy breast, the hosiery type of the brassiers are not good. The brassiere has to be proper cotton, those soft, those fancy brassiers, or the, like, jockey brand comes up with the hosiery material. That's not good. There are a lot of brands which come up with the satin materials. They are not good. You need to have a firm breast. Simply putting a padded bra is not going to help lifting the breast up. It has to be either an underwire, or it has to be the brassiers which have got proper cups which hold the breast and pull it up. Simply making the strap tight here does not lift the breast. The tightening of the breast is going to give more digging of the strap into your shoulder and giving a problem. You can yourself visualize, go home, check your shoulder. Do you find a continuity, or it is like this and then there's a depression and this part is getting lifted up? So if you have that, that means you are putting the strap too tight and you will land up with shoulder pains. You will land up with shoulder pain if you are putting too much tight straps. So making the strap tight is not a solution. Lifting the breast up by having the correct size of the cups and correct the type of the fabric is what is more important. Even the brassiers which come up with the cross straps at the back, they help in getting the breast lifted up very well. So you need to, every one of you need to look into it whether this particular aspect has been correctly addressed. If not, please work on it. That's the third thing. The fourth thing, you carry bags which are really heavy. I don't know why the bags have to be so heavy, but yes, either on the shoulder or on the hand, but then the bags have got lunch box, water bottle, and then some papers, plus XYZ. Try to make the bags as lighter as possible. Holding the bag on the shoulder is not good. If at all your bags are very heavy, I'll suggest hold it in this way instead of holding it on the shoulder. Support it on your forearm this and then walk, it is better. So holding the bags on the shoulder, again putting a lot of pressure on the tendons here, and then stressing your tissues, getting prone to develop shoulder pains is not at all a good decision. So bags have to be lighter. If not, hold it like this in your hand. Those who can carry backpacks, well and good. Next we come down to the pain in the middle of the back here. This is the area where again the pains are felt more. Mostly that pain is coming from the neck. Number one. Number two, it can be your rounded shoulders. You may be having the shoulders which are pulling forward, so the muscles of the back are getting pulled out, and that gives the pain. Those who have got respiratory problems like wheeze or asthma and all, for them these muscles are always tight. And tightness of these muscles plus a little bit of shoulders pulled forward is their posture to facilitate breathing. Now they should learn the correct pattern of breathing which will relax these muscles, and it will help in getting a good lung function. At the same time, prevent neck problems, neck pains. So those with respiratory problems should learn the correct breathing techniques, should ensure that the wheeze is always kept under control. The other problem which comes in women, especially with the teachers, is knee pain. So these are the common areas. There's neck, shoulder, the knee. The knee pains. Now why the knee pains? The first and foremost reason is too long duration of standing. If you are standing continuously for the longer duration, please take my suggestion today, start wearing shoes. We are in shoes mainly because our profession involves standing a lot, and we maintain our joint health only by wearing the shoes, nothing else. If you wear the shoes take care of the load which is going to come down. There's a good amount of cushioning in the shoes. It helps in reducing the load on the knee. Plus, when you are walking, The chappals you need to hold. Shoe you don't have to hold. You can walk as you want. The shoe will just come with your foot. So your strain to the leg muscles is very less when you wear shoes as compared to the chappals. Now those who wear chappals, uh, I am 100% against wearing chappals. Even with the saris nowadays, shoes have come in such fancy designs where you have shoes, even brides in their marriage receptions, marriage functions, they are wearing shoes. They get good amount of say designing done on the shoe, even those ari work is done on the shoe. Shoes have gone to a different level now. So you can always wear, this is our mindset, sari cannot go with shoe. It's a mindset. It's not a written rule anywhere. We have seen our mothers wearing chappals all the time, so we think sari has to go with the chappal only and we keep wearing the chappals. People have just taken it for granted that sari should go with the chappal, but no. Whether it is not the sari which is the deciding factor. The deciding factor is how much time do you have to stand, and accordingly your dressing should be. So start wearing shoes from today. When you are out somewhere, again, so because in spite of wearing the shoes, because I think you stand for almost 6 hours a day. Am I wrong or right? 3 to 4 hours a day altogether, plus standing in the kitchen morning and evening. So altogether it will be around 6 to 7 hours of standing per day. That 6 to 7 hours of the standing, at least at your workplace, start wearing shoes. At home, bare feet walking is not right. If you have marble, if you have granite, those hard stones, barefoot walking is not good. You should have chappals. If you have, but nowadays nobody has this type of floorings, those kadapa flooring or the mosaic flooring, nobody has it because those are relatively softer. But all the natural stones are very hard, not good, so better start wearing chappals at home. When you are going out for shopping or anything, only when you go for functions, see that your chappals are fancy. But when you are going out for shopping and all, your purpose is for shopping. You are not going to display your chappals there. Why do you need fancy chappals when you go out for shopping? Why do you need heels when you go out to the mall? You don't need heels when you go to the mall. When you don't need fancy chappals, the chappals which have got a very flat, thin thing down and 2 straps on the top. Why? Where is the support? Absolutely zero support. So when you go out for a purpose, start wearing shoes. If you are going to the mall, you are going to be walking for 2 to 3 hours, wear shoes. But if you are just going for something purpose and coming back in some half an hour, 1 hour, chappals with proper support are required, with proper cushioning are required. No heels, no flats, no thin soles, no strap wala chappals, thin 1 or 2 straps, no. When you are going for social events, wear what you want because that's the time which is very less when you want to stand and walk. So your chappals, the foot support matters a lot when it comes to the knee joint. If your foot support is very good, your knee is taken care by almost 50%. Remaining 50% is what we need to look into it. Now how do we do that? When we stand continuously, or even if you are sitting, if you are not standing but then sitting constantly, this particular position, the leg remaining, the muscle of the thigh is constantly being pulled. This pull, it's like muscles are like elastic. You pull them continuously, keep pulling, and how the elastic, when you pull, your rubber band in the beginning is good tight. As you keep using, the rubber band tends to lose its tension. Same way the muscle which is constantly put to a stretch repeatedly is going to lose its tension, it becomes weak. Now weak muscle doesn't support the joint. Now in case you have to walk a lot or you have to climb the steps, those who are using the trains and the buses, you need to walk. There then your knee which is unstable because of the weak muscle will definitely cause a lot of friction in the joint and lead to arthritis of the knee. The first response is the ligaments become weaker because the muscle support is weak. Weak ligaments will then translate into joint friction and joints getting arthritic changes. So if you are developing pain in your knee joint, just think whether everything is right. Is my foot properly supported when I am walking? And is my muscle strength good enough? If yes, then you should think of, okay, now I should seek help. But then first try to correct your own self instead of immediately rushing or taking a medicine. Taking medicine is very easy, but then that's not solving the problem at all. Now the knee joints, it is the other reason why the knee joints become painful is during the menopause period. The menopause time, there's a lot of hormonal disturbances, there's a lot of fat accumulation which happens in this region, so this part becomes more wider as compared to the foot. So it is now there's a lot of strain which will come onto the knee joint because this becomes wider. So in that case, if you are seeing, you will immediately know the somewhere around the age of 47, 48, you are entering into the premenopausal phase. You will see the changes happening. The changes can be either in the form of sensitivity to heat, or you may have some sort of mood disturbances, irritability, digestion getting a bit affected, dryness into the hair coming up, skin dryness, certain changes will be there, and these are the initial changes which say that yes, some hormonal changes are happening in the body. Now when these hormonal changes are happening, it's an indication that yes, I need to become alert, let me see to it. So now the first thing, that is what we call as preparing for menopause. You prepare yourself, let the menopause come and go. It should not interfere with your health. It is a normal physiological process. But these days, many patients who come to us is like, my knee is paining, I know this is menopause. I know this is menopause. So we're blaming the menopause. Is it that the menopause started only now? Since the time the women existed on this earth, menopause always existed. How many of you heard your mothers complaining, saying, this is menopause, this is menopause, this is menopause? They never ever knew what is menopause, and they never had the problem, and they still continued doing all their day-to-day life activities without a single complaint. The thing is, because their physical activity level was high, for us it's not up to that level. We need to prepare ourselves for the menopause. The first signals of hormonal changes happening in the body when you see start becoming physically active. Physically active doesn't mean that yes, I'm moving around in the house or I'm doing the work, I go by bus every day or I go by train every day. No, that is not physical activity, that is tiredness. Physical activity is like start walking. 20 minutes of walk is good enough. Is good enough. Walk at your pace. Neither walk too fast nor walk too slow. Your normal pace of walking is the walk what is required for 20 minutes a day. That's one. Second, simple exercises, very simple exercises. The simplest what you can do is, if you remember or if you have seen your children or the grandchildren, they have PT period in the school, what exercises they do. Simple hand up, down, right, left, leg up, leg down, bending forward, bending sideways. Make it a point that you do 20 minutes of these exercises every day. Become mindful about what you are eating, when you are eating. Eating very late in the night should be avoided. These are things which are very essential the time when you start seeing hormonal changes happening. Now you are preparing your body for a good menopause. So ensure that you are eating in time. Ideally eating before 7 is good if your time permits, but if it is late, the last should be 8. People, those who have very late dinner, avoid heavy dinner. The night then should go. You can have a heavy lunch, you can have a very heavy breakfast. Your dinner can be just some soup and one chapati or a little bit of one dosa and a lot of curry. That can be your dinner. Early morning, go and have a good breakfast. That will be good. Number 1. Number 2, I have told you walking. Number 3, I have told you that you need to do some exercise. Fourth most important thing to look into is you should have a good sleep. People, those who don't have good sleep, degenerate faster. They become old much earlier than their biological age. So you need to have a good sleep. Ensure how you are going to get it. There are multiple ways by which sleep can be achieved. First and foremost thing, keep into your mind, nothing is so important on this earth than your personal health. Nothing is so important. Your personal, your relationships, your duties, everything can be taken care only when your physical health is good. If your physical health is good, your mental health is good, both together, everything will happen. It will happen. But first priority, your best friend or your partner for the life is not your spouse. Your partner is your body. Listen to your body, respect your body, reward your body, and the body will help you tide through the number of years, whatever is there for you. So, sleep, very important. Wherever people, those who are not able to sleep during the night time for some or the other reason, whenever you get a chance, take a nap, take a nap, take a nap. You are coming on the way somewhere, if you are in the auto rickshaw, just take a small nap. That small naps are also good enough, but you have to sleep. That's very important. Then, so when you have these things, you are preparing yourself for the menopause. As the menopause, you enter into that phase, you very smoothly you will tide over without much of the problems, and your joint health will also remain very good that time. So the knee joint, menopause is one of the reasons in women. Your lifestyle is another reason, because you stand a lot. And third is your footwear. These are the three things. People with heavy breast, unsupported or poorly supported breast tend to develop knee problems much more than the people, those who have got a well supported breast. So the breast support is very important when it comes to musculoskeletal health. So with these most important joints, there are a lot of other issues, but when we talk about musculoskeletal, these are the most important. If your knee is hurting, your back will hurt over the period of time. And then the back is like, you start blaming, no, I have to sit for so many hours, I have to stand, there are extra classes, there are this and all. But then no, please do not blame all those things. There was a signal given by the knees before. There was a signal given by some sort of tiredness in the buttock region. You ignored it, and then the back started paining, and then now you blame the back to something else. Instead of blaming the external environment, we should start looking into ourselves. Introspection should be done. Where am I going wrong? Let me correct myself. My posture, my food, my sleep, my exercises, are these 4 things taken care? If yes, and still there is something, then there are reasons which Dr. Ishani will let you know, and that can be addressed. Believe me, ideally, there are only around 10 to 12% genuine cases where we have to intervene. Remaining, they become problematic only because of their negligence. If you are careful about yourself, the number of visits to the hospitals will reduce drastically. Diabetic people tend to get more joint problems as compared to non-diabetics. So people, those who are diabetic, they need to be ensuring that again, if you think that you are taking a anti-diabetic medicine, your sugar levels are under control, so everything is good, you are in a false notion. In spite of taking your anti-diabetic medicines, everything inside the body is still happening. Your joints are getting degenerated, your eyes are getting affected, your nerves are becoming weaker, circulation is getting affected, everything is still happening. So the best way is, you should somehow or the other try to make your body take control of it, instead of medicines trying to just suppress or cover up and give you a feel that yes, everything is good, everything is good. No. So if you are, and the best thing is to see that your HbA1c, maintain your HbA1c somewhere within 6.5. 5.5 they say, 5.5 is non-achievable in diabetics. 6.5 for our Indian populations is very good if you are doing your regular 20 minutes of walk and 20 minutes of exercise, plus maintaining 6.5 HbA1c. I can guarantee you that you will have the least musculoskeletal problems. Everything is very easy. Only thing is to understand what I should do, when I should do. If you do that, life is easy, no pains, enjoy it. Thank you so much.